Hello, everyone. I'm Gloria Hall, Editor-in-Chief of Chiropractic Economics. Thanks for tuning in to my interview with Dr. Kameron Smith, who has written the article, Optimize Your Practice with Artificial Intelligence. Dr. Smith, it's great to have you here today. Can you get us started by telling us a little bit about yourself and why the interest in AI?
Yeah, it's great to be here today. I started practicing about 11 and a half years ago and kind of worked in solo practice, now in a family practice in another clinic here. And so AI kind of started coming out several years ago. And I just thought, man, there's something to this. We're going to be able to streamline so much. And so I just kind of went down that rabbit hole several years ago and have found ways that in my office, things that I don't really prefer to do or that just take a lot of time. It has just streamlined that so much. And AI has been a very good tool to enhance what I do within my practice. So, yeah.
Well, great. How do you see the AI tools transforming the day-to-day operations of a practice in the next few years?
So it's kind of funny when I first wrote the article, I don't know if that was 6, 10 months ago, something like that, but it has changed so much even this short amount of time. So it's almost you won't even know what it's going to be a year from now. But even since then, a lot of the things that I was hoping for are already happening. And you're seeing a lot in the medical community. With the big one for me is just the scribing. You're able to do so much and actually converse with your patients and listen, and just in the background it's helping you get that note done so that you can really just hone in on listening to what they have, what their complaints are, and how you're going to help treat them, rather than, okay, I got to make sure this is in there. I don't know if you've ever been to a doctor or anywhere of any sort that, as you're telling them your complaints, they're typing things into a computer, and so you lose a little bit of that human connection. So it's kind of funny how computers have helped us regain that human connection so that we can actually listen better to our patients. So I think the number one thing is the integration with EHR software, some of the AI scribes. There's a whole bunch of other things, whether it's billing, your scheduling, all of these things are going to benefit from using the help of artificial intelligence and analytics. So that's kind of the biggest shift I'm going to see over the next year or so. And I think the stuff that's already out there is just going to get better and more efficient. So, yeah.
What? Thank you. Which AI applications are most effective for helping chiropractors attract and retain patients without adding extra administrative work?
Yeah. So, kind of as I said there before, the scribes are going to make you a lot more efficient with your note taking. I think that chatbots, that's one where we've kind of had those for a while, and I don't know, if all chiropractors have them on their websites, but that's one thing where, when you're not there, or your front desk isn't there, you're not fielding calls, you're not responding to emails other than just kind of a blanket, message, we'll be back at this hour and that. So I think some of these, as long as you're doing it right, they can really help you communicate with patients when you're not even there. And then when you get back into the office, you can see kind of what's going on with that. So I think chatbots will be beneficial with that. The other big one, as far as retaining patients, I always find that marketing is a big aspect of that. So you want to reach as many people as possible. So content. So I think that AI is going to really help you with content. And that's kind of in my article. We talked about that a little bit. Making a blog post. Okay. Maybe you're not an editor in chief, maybe you don't know all these aspects of writing a good article. Well, you can still put your ideas out there. You can have it assist you in creating this blog post and then edit it to make it a little more you. So I think that's going to be huge in attracting and retaining patients, as well as even some of the little things like video editing, for example. Some of these things that when you send maybe your videos out to a marketing team and they're working these things over, I think that AI can help you if you're if you're a small practitioner and you don't have tons of time, you can use these tools to get a little bit more content out than you would be able to just by yourself. So I think that's some really big aspects of attracting and retaining patients, as well as doing all that's going to boost your SEO. So yeah.
Yeah. What are some examples of AI-powered marketing or business growth strategies that a small chiropractic practice could realistically implement?
Yeah, I mean, I basically kind of just went over that. I think all of those things that we spoke about before, whether it's the blog posts, the videos, all of those things are something that you don't have to have, um, a tech background. You don't have to go to, special seminars. You can just get on your computer, download some applications, learn the tricks yourself, or even go on Facebook, go on YouTube, go on some of these websites to educate yourself on how to use these tools. And I think you're going to be able to really help grow your practice through using AI to help you do things that you might already be doing. But once again, it's going to make it a lot more efficient and you'll be able to pump out more content and hopefully, in my opinion, better content than maybe you can do by yourself. So I think those, like I said before, those are the big ticket items when it comes to the AI, I think, within the chiropractic field for a small practitioner.
Good deal. Last question. Are there any risks or pitfalls chiropractors should be aware of when integrating AI into their practice?
Yeah, there's definitely things you need to consider, right? So it's not going to replace the human aspect of it, right? If you have, AI assistants and AI answering the phone and doing all the things, you'll lose some of that human connection. And me being in a rural community, I think that's huge. So, I mean, we still have our front desk actually call to remind patients of their appointments. So it's not just text reminders and all that. So I think if you lose too much of that human connection, that's kind of a pitfall to it. A big one too is with the scribes that I had mentioned earlier, which once again I think are a very good aspect that AI can help with. You got to make sure that HIPAA compliant. I would definitely reach out to your state board or an advocate in your state to make sure you're doing everything right, as well as making sure you're picking the right company that's going to have all of these things built in for security purposes. And just like I said, make sure you're taking care of HIPAA. And then another thing, as we talked about the blog post and the videos and all these things, is you got to check it for accuracy as well as in your notes, right? It is still a computer. It's not you. It may hear something wrong. It may, the tone of the conversation may be wrong. So you got to just really check things over, as well as you don't want it to take out the you in an article or the you in the note. You want it to be something that you have created personally. So, getting too lax on, all right, cool, AI did this article for me, just going to post it. Well, that's not authentic. That's not trustworthy. That's something that you have to make sure you're just using it as a tool to enhance what you are as a practitioner and get your feel out there for you. So how you do things. So that's what I would say would be the major pitfalls when it comes to starting to get AI into your practice. And the longer and the more you get into it, you will learn these things too. But I think making sure those main points are hit, I think that's going to really help you integrate this into your practices.
All right. Thank you. Dr. Smith, thank you. Thank you for participating in the interview. Thank you for your article and your contribution to chiropractic economics and the chiropractic profession. We really appreciate it.
Appreciate you, and I hope this helps some people out there. So thanks.
I think it will.